Officially, Alexandria now owns her Warpstone dildo.
Where's Finn? I need to congratulate
He's
him.
in chat. He said,
He's in chat.
Finn, we did it. We did it, man.
Woo.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Hey, Rowan, would you like to start off our recap for everyone?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Howdy, everybody. It's probably been a while since you've heard one of these, so basically, I like to do little recaps of what happened last session and in between downtime, so that way you, the audience, are all caught up. So, let's begin. Basically, last session, the Bled and the Culled decided to plan a battle strategy and ended up attacking the Seers, which involved them splitting into two groups. The Culled, they went ahead and went the north route on the battle map, taking care of the Seers' leader, their mage, and also managed to disable their mounted rider. While the Bled, they took care of some rooftop range guys, one guy with a major crossbow, or like a huge-ass crossbow harpoon gun, a large ogre, a dominatrix, and one poor bastard that pretty much got stun-locked to death. Ugh, that poor man. After we managed to go ahead and not sustain too many injuries, we ended up going ahead and clearing out this entire base. With that, we ended up finding about 150 warpstone, which 50 of that went to being able to craft warpstone weaponry and armaments for our warband, as well as the rest of the knickknacks that we found. We split amongst the party. The party actually managed to pretty much spare the mounted rider, and I believe were riding a demigriff. Am I saying it correctly, Zach? Because I don't want you to beat me. Good.
It's not a griffin. It's a demigriff. Doesn't have any.
Demigriff. All right. So we got a demigriff, as well as the chained ogre and the sex women. If we decide to spare those as well. However, we did know that our humble little mansion was kind of
I'm
getting
sorry,
a bit
I
cramped.
had myself muted. Sex women?
Dominatrix.
I mean, I could be talking about Alexandria, but I mean, come on.
You did also bring in.
She wasn't too open when the fade to black things happened, so I don't think she is that.
No worries. Talking about the woman with the whip. Anyway,
He also rescued the guy that got stun locked to death. He is also alive and in the.
He's alive. Oh, my apologies. Yeah. I must have got my note wrong.
Yeah, the last punch on him was non-lethal.
Gotcha. All right, so
he also participated in fade to black things.
Okay. Yes. So
unlocks were also involved.
Basically, to put it quite bluntly for everyone in chat, Alex gets everyone to join our warband by fucking them.
I mean, you're not wrong.
As we like to say, Alexandria hosts a lot of ice cream socials. Anyways.
Yep. Meanwhile, Solomon talked someone into it.
I'm going to save it.
Hold on, everybody. So, basically, we realized that our mansion was getting a bit crowded, unfortunately. So, we decided that we're going to go ahead and move out in the world. Ended up taking over the Sears base and started moving everything during our downtime. Let's start off with the individuals of what they did during their downtime. I'll start off. Rowan decided that he wanted to continue his magical studies in the sense, and with that, he managed to craft a new spell, one that allows him to pretty much summon armaments to himself. But he also felt a little greedy, so he offered some warpstone to Slanesh in return. Well, as you can see on the map, he seems a bit longer, as Rowan now has half a body of a snake. He's very, he paid off the servant very well. Do you guys want me to say what you guys did, or would you guys like to go on off?
Let us do our summarization. So, Alexandria, just quickly summarize everything you did during downtime.
Remember your
strap in, everyone. Alexandria, sum it up.
You can go to the recap labs as well.
All right. Well, first thing that happened is I tried to originally just improve relations with Oswald. Fade to black things happen, and we ended up having an entire ice cream social. Mange interrupted her, which she was not very happy about. They later had a conversation, and Mange kind of understands now.
Basically,
And,
she just taught a fucking Skaven the birds and the bees and says, yeah, let us fuck, please, because it's nice.
So she mostly explained it in a "this is how I worship Slanesh" kind of way.
Yeah.
And also, this is my version of shinies because they make me happy. So they're both rolled up into one. So please have this.
All right. Skip over me for now, real quick. Siegfried, if you would cover what you're doing.
So Siegfried, after scouting out the base early on, had his heart set on a sword, but found out that guy was still breathing and thought it might have been kind of mean to. Yeah, so he contented himself with some cool dwarven armor that was around and stopped in what looked like would make a really nice tavern room. And after discussing finances with the Skaven of all people, decided
Grudgingly funded it.
who begrudgingly, who could eventually be persuaded. They decided to set up a nice area, greet some guests, make some friends. Yeah, home sweet home.
Yeah, so we have a really buffed up area for the purposes of recruitment and
Alright, who's
keeping...
I guess that's Solomon's time.
Yeah, go ahead.
Solomon actually did something unusual for once. He went and talked with one of the captives, who everyone seems to call her dominatrix. Explaining how he and his group basically just attacked him because resource management was shit in their group and they were in desperate need for everything.
Solomon, you don't seem to understand how obvious it is to call her a dom. She's using a whip and she's covered in leather scantily-clad armor.
Me, the player, no.
I also
The
literally
player
described
knows.
her personality as
doesn't.
a dominatrix.
Yeah, he literally described her as a dominatrix in the bio too, so that helps.
Yeah. Solomon
Spared all
doesn't know
sexy-
shit about it. He doesn't know why.
Wandering.
Oh. By Slanesh. Nice.
Yep.
It's
I
small.
like how the picture on the map is even bigger than the small one that you had.
There's a bit of trend there.
Yeah, a lot of the characters are commissions. Some of them are more generic tokens. So these 4 don't have custom art. The rest of our party pretty much does.
Don't forget
Actually,
the bird.
Rowan's in the process of getting new art because he's half snake now.
Listen, I got a third arm and a snake body, okay? Oh,
Yeah, you sort of are due for an update.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the funny thing is, Solomon grew an arm, and we can play latently hide that with him having the arm behind his back
Oh
on
yeah,
the RP.
for the new among us who are not aware of things, our fucking Nurgle cultist for the longest time has only had one arm, and during the battle last session, technically they didn't give him an arm. They removed the gift that had prevented him from having an arm at birth.
Yep.
It's a weird roundabout way of doing it, but basically, it's, as far as mechanics are concerned, he lost one gift and gained one arm.
Yep.
So I think it would be hilarious if, just for roleplay purposes, your newly grown arm is just a normal human arm. It's not like the rest of your body.
Sadly, that gift is still in effect.
Yeah,
It's gonna screw me over so hard.
So. If that one ever gets removed, he'll be very confused. See that one?
Anyways, back to the
Anyway,
back to the
yeah, back to
recap of
Solomon
Solomon.
expression.
He somehow managed to talk her into not blatantly try to kill him in the same room, and actually kind of simply understand that what they did, yeah, shitty, but resources were kind of in the middle of it. He's not very good talker, but he's very honest.
He somehow managed to convince a dominatrix. Yeah, we sort of wanted your stuff. No hard feelings.
Somehow it fucking worked.
Yeah, he got a critical
Yep,
critical
and that
success
one.
on that check, yeah.
Fucking that one with 6 charisma. I should have failed.
Successful than Alex.
Boy. And last but not least, Mange was actually the one who went about. He not only funded from his vast collection of shinies that he hoards away from the party like a fucking degenerate, he also he funded the training area that Siegfried worked on. So Siegfried did the actual work. It was just Mange's money, quote unquote. But he also went about upgrading the forge. So he's the one that actually put in the work and effort to help Skitchery upgrade the forge to allow for warpstone weaponry. And Mange is looking forward to, during this next downtime, hopefully finally getting his fucking warpstone great axe. He originally wanted to have us spend all of the warpstone on getting the armor forge upgrade, because we can spend another 100 warpstone and he'll be able, and Skitchery will be able to craft us warpstone armor. But I had completely and utterly forgotten that one of the chaos gifts I got recently was chaos armor, and none of the other people really need the armor. So it wasn't really worthwhile. It wasn't a good use of resources.
Just a reminder, Alex has chaos armor, Mange has chaos armor. Rowan got a spell that basically gives him heavy armor. And then the rest of the guys, I think, just have medium armor, which is pretty good.
Siegfried has like dwarven heavy armor. Solomon has normal. I mean, Siegfried has normal. Is it heavy armor? I think it was dwarven heavy armor. And Solomon has medium armor, but he also has a fucking race sword that drains willpower, so.
Yep, and 18 in strength.
With Siegfried, though, because he's like, oh, I don't want to take the guy's sword, but then he took the guy's armor.
That actually is the dude's armor.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Sorry, naked man.
Just coming to his room later
Oh, I
on.
don't want to take his sword, that would be a bit mean. I don't want to take his sword, that would be a bit mean.
To be fair, Zach, you were sort of pretty vague about what belonged to whom in there, except for, like, you named the sword, but you just called it generic dwarf armor, so we sort of assumed it just existed.
Yeah, I thought I'd be killing him if
I was like copying it down from the sheets that I had. It's like, right, the sword, I need to name that, otherwise so that they'll know it's not just a normal great sword. But then the armor's like, it's just the Warforged.
Yeah.
Pretend the character Siegfried doesn't know it's either. Like, the dude was taken out of his armor because wounds or whatever. Is just in a cell during this whole thing. It's just like, ooh, all right.
Yeah. So, with that in mind, was there anything else that we needed to recap, Rowan?
Honestly, I think that should be about it, really. I mean, unless anybody changed anything, should be all set.
Don't think so.
Yeah, last session was just a massive slog of a fight.
Yeah, it was like a 5 or 6 hour fight that took over, like, it was 5 or 6 hours, but it only took 4 fucking, like, in-game rounds.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. We are not going to be doing that again, because that was an endurance match for all of us.
If I do, I'm making dinner in the middle of it. Holy shit. I missed dinner for that.
If we do that again, we're going to be like, all right, every hour we're taking a 5-minute break. Fuck that. But with that in mind, let's let our DM take it away for the beginning of this.
We come back into Mordheim in what is now effectively Season 2, as we've had a bit of a pause. Yeah. Mainly with background noise. Is your fan going? What is that?
The AC is in the background, but there's just some, like, minor things going on. I'm trying to adjust the fucking thing.
Yeah. Last session was basically like, this is a TV show at the end of Season 1, and the group is spending a couple of weeks kind of setting up their thing. It's a end of an adventure style of thing. So they all got fully reset to max of everything. Completely moving to a new base, setting up all of these new things, and new warbands are going to be moving in. They'll be finding out about it over the course of whenever they scout them out, really. We'll come back in to... I'd assume we start with the group as they're kind of leaving the old base. They hired out... Well, actually, they bought a cart, which is going to be carried along by Conk, because Ming didn't want to spring for a horse. So Conk has to carry the thing. And they're just kind of bringing stuff down and loading it up.
Paid. Cargus his horse.
And So it's still at the old base. You guys are kind of loading up the last few things into the cart.
Move faster! Move faster! He's
There
just
is
sort of
a-
like on the side, like chauffeuring people.
Yeah, there's
Shut
one
up.
person at the base who you don't know if he'll be coming with you. The guy who hasn't started packing his things yet has just been chilling up in his like semi-separate tower thing.
Yeah, so for context, there's a gentleman named Merrick who, on this map, you haven't updated his token, but we do have custom art for now, who is the original owner of this mansion that we basically took over. And he is a powerful, bright mage, or at least compared to us. He's like a few levels higher than us. He's still, like, squishy as all shit. But he technically lived here before Mordheim became a shit show, and he continued to live here after Mordheim became a shit show. And so, here's the thing. I want him to come along, but Mange has no fucking attachment to the dude, so I can't be the one to convince him.
And he's not a bright mage, he's a heaven.
Heaven Mage, right?
They're gonna do wet weather stuff, like they'll do lightning, they summon Comet.
Yeah, right.
I'm
I'm thinking fucking, Sienna for some reason.
Yeah. His main thing is reading futures and stuff. Which is what he did for you guys at the start. Session
for
2, he
Mage.
read your death.
Yep.
He read the deaths of everybody who wanted it.
Ah,
Yeah.
Mine's a
You guys
character.
are packed
Good
the
or
cart
bad.
with any- you guys are packed with the cart. Would any of you want to go and talk to Merrick?
Siegfried won.
I
Sure.
feel like Rowan would be the most apt to go actually try and convince him to come along, mainly because you both like share magical preferences. Like, I know Mange for a fact wouldn't care whether he comes on or not.
Yeah, Rowan would go talk to him. Talk to the guy. Did anybody else want to come along? Or just Rowan?
Solomon
Yeah,
might come along for
me.
entertainment.
Alright.
Solomon and Alex, along with Rowan. All right.
And probably need some help getting up the stairs.
Yeah, Solomon can just drag him up like under the arm like a baby. Come on.
You tell anybody of this and I'll thunder wave you back down.
That means I take both of us with us.
I just say,
Someone is
too
dragging
late.
him up
I already
tonight.
know about it.
Anyways.
Alex following up behind the lot. You guys come out into the fairly cramped. Like it's cramped with one person in there. Little kind of research lab / bedroom / observatory in this little 15-foot by 15-foot room. Yeah, as you come in, he kind of spins around in the chair. I assume this is in relation to you moving. You haven't exactly been subtle about it.
Yeah. Well.
You could hear the rat screaming through the wall.
Oh yeah. He's pretty excited about that.
Professor!
Yeah,
Stop
he's
in
a
the
little
distance.
asshole.
Well, the reason that we came up was genuinely curious about, well, if you have any intentions of joining us.
Well, this is my house.
Hmm. At the same time, you are in Mordheim, one of the dangerous cities in the entire Empire. It's always good to have a few backup hands, but I mean, I understand if you're willing to stay.
Well, I have a lot of research notes here. Be a fair effort to bring it over, although I'm sure you can manage a second trip.
Wouldn't be too bad.
Definitely possible.
I suppose you lot do already know kind of what I've been doing, and like looks to Rowan. As you were the one who like read through his journal when you first got here. And read everything that he is about. And I've never brought it up. But
Yeah. I
well,
understand a bit.
as I can come with on a condition of you completing a mission for me, or with me, in the next week or so.
What are the specifics?
Well, I'm sure you know, from reading my research, but I've been looking into the underground of Mordheim, why that comet came here. Currently, my best lead is underneath the Gowl. There are always rumors there's something under there. Say it still is. Had you removed that Chaos Follower, but, well, the auspices changed vastly after you did that, and apparently more had moved in since. It became dangerous, and couldn't go back. I believe I've found another path. Well, once I'm certain of it, you guys have properly moved in, you lot accompany me, and we head down to find what's in there.
Sounds good, Egghead.
Isn't any different than what we've been doing before? Hell, it might
Yeah.
even be safer.
And of course, I will want my own room, preferably. And he kind of looks to Alex, like away from noises. don't like this stuff.
If we
Sure
can't-
thing.
Room for you upstairs. We'll start expanding the basement.
I need somewhere up high. And he like points to his telescope, which is set up like just behind Alex.
You're welcome, by the way.
As much as I have something of an obsession with the underground, I just still need to look at the stars.
Right. As long as you are still willing to possibly teach me a thing or two about magic, some more in the future, I'm willing to help whenever.
As long as you're willing to do it the proper way, of course.
Oh, come on, I haven't been cheating yet.
That I know of.
I've been doing my own research, just like holds up the undead or the grimoire of necromancy.
That hardly counts.
Oh,
So hard to please people these days.
Just saying, like, I've been doing my research. Like, I read a book. Is basically
Casual.
It's just like,
he's like written
it's just
several novels. Yeah, but
where's
I
your
read a
fucking
book right
Bible
now.
of citations and self-studies?
He's written
Bible.
4 texts, and you just like, I read a book we found off of a dead guy.
I can read dead people, okay?
I can read 2.
Whatever. Alright.
Well, so your cart is quite full. So, do your trip and come back. I'll start packing my things.
And, well, do you have any other... Well, I'm surprised you're willing to come with us so soon. And anything you wish
The house.
I know, it's your... Well, I don't know, I expected more attachment to this place, considering it survived the comment, but... Oh well.
I'm sure. Well, I was going to say I'm sure it will remain intact over it, but you never know when somebody will just come through and destroy the place. Yes, a house is a house. Not massively attached to the place. It's purpose. He like looks to the water as right to main leaps, and some of it has been effectively ruined beyond repair.
Ah well. There's no saving this damn city.
I understand several walls in my basement have been torn open.
Yeah.
Mushrooms growing in them.
Yeah.
I'm going to have my own private place to do my research. I don't really care where I am.
Alright then. We'll get a cart soon.
And at that moment, you would just hear Maine just screeching again.
Yeah,
Damn it.
he just spins back around and goes back to writing whatever he was writing.
Come back outside, and Maine just carrying like 3 different things out to the cart on its own.
You know, that's why I use zombies, Mange. They carry stuff for me.
Maine
Gosh,
just
carry
looks
you.
at
I have to
Rowan
carry you up and down.
and gives him like the most like fuck you possible expression he could possibly muster. Just like, Mage rubs his shinies!
Well, at least let me help you, rat friend. And cast Levitate, unlike the heavy objects he's carrying.
Or DDM.
Yeah.
You like, just turn into a gibbering mouth, the mage kills you.
The lovely end to, all right, we're gonna go do this thing and then help this guy with his research.
I love how everyone just casually does spells, like, you're not supposed to do that. This is
Listen,
yeah,
what's
I'll
up,
do
bud?
this second little spell casually.
Literally, in the back of Rowan's mind, just, it's all part of God's plan!
He runs an abomination
Yeah, he's
beyond
mad
repair.
now.
He's an abomination beyond repair. He knows that his time will come soon.
He's not as big an abomination, gift-wise, as someone else in the party. Just the most
it's
rigidly.
getting a little hot in here, huh?
Ugh, stay away from me.
As you guys are there, everybody give me a perception.
Alright,
Everybody?
perception.
Yeah.
That's what
Everybody
you're
don't be
looking for, lad.
Great success. Holy shit.
Success!
Detection or just perception?
Yeah, detection if you have it. Whenever I say
Oh,
roll
okay.
perception, I mean
Great
detection.
success.
Success!
Mange is very wary about things that might affect his shinies.
Uh,
Yeah, 'cause they roll really well too.
Oh.
So they got a great success. Did anybody succeed by 11 or better?
I just succeeded by
Fuck.
12.
Alright, so Mange is the only one that notices this. So as you're there, like yelling at Rowan a bit and kind of like limbering up, getting ready to drag this thing for like 2 hours through Mordheim. Mange like notices a slight smell on the wind, and you quickly turn to see a familiar figure approaching the front gates, glowing white.
Mange turns, looks, and screams, "What the shinies? Defenses! Defenses!"
You guys are okay to see this on the shorter side, seemingly female, but it's hard to tell because it's glowing white. It's walking forwards. Kind of comes to the gate, puts
is
their
that
hand
the-
on and starts melting it. Like they
Is
put
that
the
the
hand on the gate and the gate
Phoenix?
starts melting down.
yep, that's her.
I thought we taught this bitch a lesson.
Okay, what should I roll here? Because this is going to affect Solomon's mental state right now.
How many feet away would you say she is, Zach?
We're loading the cart like right
I-
out front of the
I
door.
just fucking deleted the outside old base. It's like
Rip!
it's like 50 foot, I think. I don't know why I deleted it.
All right.
No, I think it was more like
50,
75. It took forever for us to get across that yard.
Yeah,
Mostly because I had 25 move speed at that point.
Yeah.
yeah. So like, say she's like 80 feet away.
I like how, meanwhile, it's just like you had 25 move speed. All of a sudden, now I can sprint 120 feet.
She's about
Thankfully.
80 feet away, kind of like hands on the gate, kind of melting it open. And, you know, there's a hole like 20 foot down the side, but she seems to be doing a bit of a power move here. There's like a hole that's been roughly patched of like planks of wood by Skitchery because nobody gave her the resources to actually fix it.
So I'm just kind of screaming over. So I'm guessing negotiations have ended?
Mm-hmm.
Like the hissing of superheated metal is pulling it apart.
Alexandria, why don't you go ahead and put a few more holes into her?
Alright. You're the boss.
Brings up a gun and just detonates in her hand.
Don't jinx this, Zach. Don't jinx
Yeah.
this.
She's about 80 feet away, so anybody wants to do anything, you can. Not doing
How-
initiative.
Siegfried would also take aim.
Damn, good shots.
Ouch.
Kimbo pistol, blam blam.
2 good shots.
Because I have two right arms, so I can shoot twice.
Yeah.
Alright, so you guys all lay out bullets on it.
Yeah, so she kind of steps through the gate, kind of like just to get like probably like 8 foot or so away from your like just wall of corpses strung up on the Skaven scarecrows. Just 2 loud bangs, basically simultaneous, as Alex just levels pistols and fires. And you see like one just punches through the shoulder, the other one seems to get her right in the head. He's like small black hole for a second before the weight covers it again. The body kind of sways for a second. Then you hear this like sucking sound, and then she just detonates.
Why do I feel like this is going to be a reoccurring theme?
I hope it is. Oh my gosh, that's funny.
All of the like scarecrow stew had just basically tasted.
Mange
All of
looks
them are
at
at least
them.
lightly on fire, and those closest to are knocked over and burning.
All right, Mange is going to sprint over to where her body is after the fucking detonation goes off.
You go over, you see a small pile of ash where she was.
Oh, she's a phoenix. She rises from the ashes. Yeah, just take the ashes and put them in a bottle.
Mange is going to
Nope.
scoop up the ashes and eat them.
Right, Siegfried, you have that thing so that you can detect magic as like a bonus action, can't you?
Yep. Siegfried will go ahead and check that around the site of the rat.
Thing. Yeah, as you come up and start quickly looking around. So it's intelligence with disadvantage, I believe. Yeah. Intelligence or perception with disadvantage.
What the fuck is screen sharing?
Apparently.
Sorry, had to disconnect and reconnect because you're all or I'm lagging out or whatever.
Terrible failure.
He's a small pile of ashes.
Don't want to reroll or what?
So much for that gift.
It's not a skill.
Yeah, can I try a reroll on that or
Wait, it's intelligence, so it needs to be an arcane lore in order to be able to, reroll a skill.
Though it is from a chaos gift, that's a question for the DM.
Yeah,
It's up to you.
it's still not a skill.
Okay.
Okay.
It's an actual
Then,
skill.
yeah.
The gift lets him do it as a bonus action rather than spending a minute.
Okay.
Alright.
Well, Solomon's right next to them, so
just seems like some normal ashes. Enjoy.
do you want me to give them a check, buddy?
Mange is as you're doing that, Mange is just taking the ashes and throwing them around everywhere. It's like fucking anger. He's throwing them and
ashes are-
spraying them around in a circle around him and just screeching.
Mage, hold on, I'll get him. Solomon, go ahead and check out those ashes.
Will do. Okay.
Yeah, so you spend a bit kind of examining them, and no sign of any magic about them. Some of the fire around has a very slight tinge of magic. It's how does Solomon see magic? It's kind of different to everybody. How does Solomon sense it?
Well, we did explain sensing it before, but how did I explain it that time?
Same
Need
as
to use
last
this-
time. There we go.
Yeah, so Solomon spends a second trying to recognize if he's feeling that, or smelling that, or seeing it, or however he did it.
Yeah, he feels it, if I recall. Yeah, he feels it. He feels it.
Yeah.
Are you feeling it, Mr. Krabs?
Stop.
You're feeling a very, very tiny amount of magic from the fires that are still going, the very small bits of fire that are still going. It's it was wood, so it burned away very quickly. You can look around, and the bits that are still burning, very tiny bit of magic to the fires, but that is it.
Do you tell everybody this?
Well, friends, the ashes were just ashes, but the fires are kind of magical. Not sure how. He died too quick to figure that out.
Well, looks like we're putting them out then.
Yeah.
Yeah, So you just like stomp out the fires.
Skid scratch.
What?
Oh, Alex, your voice is just. Oh.
What
Fluff,
the
you
fuck
okay?
is that? Yeah, he's reconnecting. Oh boy.
Okay, how's it now?
That's better.
I just
It's
realized that
better.
we're all in the wrong voice chat,
Who cares?
which means that we're not showing up in my fucking overlay.
Wait, so
We should
can't hear
Swap to
anything?
session chat. 'Cause I have a fucking Discord overlay on OBS that actually does show up when we're in this chat, so now everyone can see our names and shit as we're talking.
Is session starting now?
No, we're fine. Like, they could hear us the entire time, but now they can see our names lighting up green as we're talking.
They know who
Hold
says
on.
what.
Go ahead, guys. I'll be right back in 1 second.
All right, so basically, I just say,
Yeah, so what
Skid
did Alex
Scratch,
say?
go get the water buckets.
It's a very minor fire.
I'm
You
gonna
can literally
step away for a sec.
Yeah.
Sol,
So as you say that, you kind of look at the fires and just want people to stop them out.
you
Yep.
said magic flyers, right, Solomon?
Yeah, slight magic trace in the fire.
Hmm.
Everything out. It's making me mad. I'm gonna try to reconnect.
Okay.
Everybody just leaving.
One is doing food. So I don't know what Siegfried said. And Alex is having microphone issues, apparently.
Yeah. All right.
All right, are we good now?
We Gucci.
Gucci, Gucci goods.
Now, can you repeat what you just said?
Rowan goes ahead and says, "So, Solomon, you said magical fire, correct?"
Slight magical touch, not exactly sure. The ashes that he just played with all around him is screaming like a little, I wouldn't say very angry child, but angry child.
Hmm.
And those are fine.
I wouldn't doubt that, or I wouldn't doubt that'd be possibly related to do with some of the, or one of the winds. Maybe somehow blessed by that, or
You would know more about that. I'm more of a godly person.
yes, it does. I mean, it sounds like a cruel trick by a chaos god, but I doubt it'd be at their hand.
At the same time, we have killed her before.
Yeah.
All the while, this entire time is going on, Mage is just eating her ashes and screaming.
Exactly
Or
why
you're scattering. You said you're scattering them around.
and eating
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
So
he's shoving like parts of them in his mouth and throwing the rest of them everywhere and just screeching like a madman.
exactly why Solomon said he not exactly child, but angry child. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, how long ago did she pass away?
When I first showed up was basically the day she died to us.
So it's just
Yeah.
a little over a fucking
Last time
month.
you fought her was several weeks. Yeah, it was
That's
a few weeks.
Just a couple of
Wait.
weeks, give and take.
My internet dying.
I might have a possible hypothesis. If she's coming back, then, well, if it's taking her this long, maybe she has to travel all the way from where she came from to Mordheim just to come to us. After all, it seems like she does have a personal vendetta.
Actually, Rowan, roll a arcane roll.
Will do.
Because there's there's slight differences to Phoenix and Warhammer. There is
Great
in normal
success.
settings.
13
Yeah, and
degrees.
as Rowan says that about her having to travel from outside Mordheim back here just to attack them, Solomon gives a truly happy laugh at that.
So,
Yeah,
what
so
does
you know, well, you've heard of Phoenixes. There's two different types, but the one that you're concerned about, the Flame Spire, it's should it be slain, it explodes, leaving naught behind but a shower of flaming cinders. If the winds of magic are at an ebb, the creature perishes, as all living beings must eventually must. Yet, if the air is sufficiently suffused with magic, the fiery fragments swiftly recoalesce. With a booming inrush of air and a flash of searing light, the Phoenix is reborn to fight anew. So you know, a flame spire, so like, a phoenix, the only creature that you know that like does fire and does reborn, since what she's named after, basically die, and then if there's enough magic, will just instantly reform. And Mordheim definitely suffused enough of magic that like a phoenix here would be basically immortal because there's so much magic everywhere that it'll just die and reborn as many times as you could keep killing it. But since she didn't immediately explode out of the ashes, there must be another way to do it. But that would definitely click to you as probably not from the gods. This seems to be something in like attuned to the wind of ash in some way. Like she's just innately attuned to the winds of magic. So likely her direction has something to do with fire, but exactly isn't really something you can just figure out from a roll.
Seems like she has a special relationship with Ashki.
Well,
Rowan will
at
go ahead and
least-
let them know what he knows about the information, basically, so that way you don't have to repeat everything.
Eventually, Mange listens in between throwing the fucking things around as he goes back to, oh yes, machetes! Kind of thing.
So
Well,
basically,
let's just put these fires out just in case and get a move on. Not like there's much to be done about it.
Come on, I'm finally having a good discussion with a mage here.
well, be warned that if we're going to be leaving this place, she's still going to be looking for us. My recommendation, if possible, if we could possibly throw her off our track, would buy us some time at least. However, our antics will definitely be heard from her eventually.
We will have to find a more permanent way of dealing with her. Any suggestions?
The only way
Water.
I still
And I actually know from a great success that frost art phoenixes are like older normal phoenixes. It's like over time they cool and then it kind of reverses, so they become ice instead of heat. And then once they're in that state, they if they die, they die. They can't reform again. So maybe if she just left her long enough, she would get old and die on her own. Or maybe you could do stuff with like ice or water or stuff which could like block her connection to fire.
Okay.
If you could like, cover her in ice or throw her in the river or something, that might stop her being able to do it.
So basically, Alexander says water, and then everybody else, and then the two mages like think for a minute, and they're like, "Yeah,
the
actually,
mage
that
and
might work."
Pulse is just like, yeah, maybe. Worth a try. Next time she shows up.
Just imagining this. Next, we're going to be building like fire suppression systems in our new manor. It's just like all of a sudden we have sprinklers and shit.
We just need a big enough water tower on top.
Well, if we can somehow
Yeah,
lead
some
her to
pipes
the
there.
bridge.
Phoenix is basically just the
4
fucking
miles
stove in The Sims that somebody really sucks at cooking at.
Lost her in the oven.
If we can take her to the bridge, then, well, I definitely know if that idea doesn't work, then those trolls might go ahead and give a bonk to her. That would be quite hilarious.
Yes, and since you didn't instantly resurrect from the ashes, she's definitely not happy right now. I am very happy at that thought.
Yes.
Means just like, enough talk, move cart!
Yes.
Rowan just begins like levitating the box that he's holding. It's just like, all right,
Jesus, are you always wasting your
Roll
spells on
TTM.
that? Give that to me.
already did.
He already did. Yeah. Can't like clicks his back, rolls his head, and picks it up and starts lugging it through more time.
Mage is probably gonna actually like push it along from the back to help out a little bit because he's eager to get his shinies home.
And someone is going to help because, well, he needs to practice with his new right arm.
Rowan's going to go ahead and have his undead help, I suppose. It's just like, I'm too petty for this.
How many undead does he have?
So now we
Thank
have
you.
Park, Solomon, Mange, and a bunch of undead zombies all pushing
Two,
the cart along.
two zombies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Do something.
from like who died?
Well, I mean, it's Mordheim. There's corpses everywhere.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
A couple of
what more?
found. They've got like bits missing out of their skulls. One was clearly like eaten by bats before he found it. They're not in the best shape, but they're functional enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unpleasant as hell to look at, but they work.
Free labor.
Forever.
Hey,
Until they turn into stones.
Yeah,
Oh, dust.
thankfully, the numbers of all of you there carrying around this cart, all of you being there and moving with purpose seems to detract any wandering predators that might have seen you. And you get no encounters, and you guys get yourselves up to the base, and then, spend a few days kind of sorting the place out, scrubbing off all of the Sears logo, except for one, which you bring inside and kind of hang up as kind of a trophy.
Yep.
Set up all your stuff, kind of claim your rooms. I haven't mapped it out fully yet. It's a big building. Gives you kind of there's a bit of trouble getting Skitchy and Nash's stuff inside. You kind of gotta wiggle it through doorways, but eventually you'll manage it. Getting the stuff there. Skitchy starts working on setting up actual prisons in the basement where you just kind of plopped your prisoners for now. You kind of shoved them all in the basement and put a table on top of the trapdoor so they couldn't get out. Is there any roleplay stuff that people want to do before I bring up anything else?
We were
I
going
think
to roleplay out fucking Solomon doing his persuasion.
and maybe Alex if
Yeah.
they want.
I don't think I can do that.
Oh,
Can't do what?
Yeah, we're not that'd be in breach of Twitch if we all
None of
roleplayed out
Alex's
Alex.
shit.
Oh, no, that would be an instant issue.
Senpai!
oh, I didn't ask
Yeah.
for this.
No.
I don't think Alex would be calling them senpai.
Bitch.
No, not that one either.
He becomes Terry. She becomes Terry.
Alright, anyway.
Alex becomes Alexander.
Whatever. Anyway, yeah, so we get there, and everything's been established. We've done some things in between here, like we did in the recap, so before we left, we had that whole, birds and the bees talk of, as Mange and Alex are bringing crap out to the cart. Basically, Mange relents that he'll let her do her crotch touch thing.
And we'll leave it at that.
So, cut forward a few days. Enough of the prison has been made. There's enough cells actually up there to make it distinct. They're not amazingly sturdy yet, but they're there. You can see them. Currently, the only thing keeping them down there is the big door and the fact there's a lot of you.
Yeah.
So,
Just
at some point, Solomon, how do you get out and talk to Ricky? I don't know how to pronounce my own I gave her.
you gave her a fucking name and you don't know how to pronounce it.
Ricky.
I have 4 different ways that I bounce between.
But yeah, don't forget, move us over to the other map.
Oh, yep.
As for how he would approach fuck.
You have to think about these things.
No,
I
that
did,
would be
and
the
now
way
I'm drawing
that,
the blank.
No, that would be the way that Alexandria approached her persuasion.
Fuck.
Well, someone could just
Precisely.
someone would just strike up conversation with her while he's bringing food one day.
What do you say? Gonna bring food down to her.
Well, hopefully she's not trying to slap him with the freaking food this time. Because I'm pretty sure she's pissed as fuck over losing her friends.
You come down and set the food down, and she's kind of staring at you from the edge of her cell. Throw it in the next cell, kind of crouched up, almost probably in the close manner, be a dog, waiting for a command. And it's give me something to do. But no, she's saying you can just slump there and looking at her.
How'd you go about this? Good here. Sorry for killing all your friends. We needed the resources we were running low on. Basically everything. And sorry for being an asshole.
That's
He's going
more
for
time.
basic.
I get
Yep.
upset that tried to kill. Well, except Trud.
Yeah, he seems like a very loyal fellow, especially when.
Not loyal. No mind.
Ah. Well, that is kind of a loyalty so long as you hold the chain.
What do
Why am
you?
I on? I'm sorry, go ahead.
What do you want?
Basically, to figure out if we will have to let you go, kill you, take Trud, or invite you to join us. Hopefully, not the first one.
It wasn't the first one. Let you go.
Exactly. Too useful.
Yeah.
You're too
Hell
fucking
yeah.
useful, lady.
Yeah,
Hopefully
and
we're
you're not discounting kill you as an
let
option
you
though.
go. Yeah.
Exactly. Because that's way more easy to do than just let her go. She's fucking in a cell right now, with Trud out of reach. It will not get easier to kill her than right now.
Yeah. And like looks at the bars around her, which is even there's big enough gaps that she can like suck in their gut and probably just barely squish herself through. Trud could probably rip out these cages no matter how sturdy you made them.
Exactly.
Yeah. You
If
might
you want
find
to without
killing
armor.
us a bit harder.
Yep.
You saw how hard it was the first time.
Yeah. Anyways, I'll let you think a little over it while you eat. I have nothing else to do here besides cleaning up a little.
Ironic.
Enjoy the food. And he basically begins just to clean up.
You go and clean out Trud's cage.
He's not afraid of Trud.
Getting ingredients from
What?
get some ingredients from Armar from Trud's cage.
Yeah, let's do that. Mama likes to have ingredients. And Solomon just sticks at the thought because that's just like, it's for the freaking rats, goddamn weird ass potions, but hey, they work.
So when you come in, his cage kind of turns to you and kind of like almost growls. It's very much like an animal kind of thing. It's sort of like almost defending his space, but kind of about stuff in the corner, watch.
Yeah, so long as he doesn't attack, there's no issue with Solomon. Tries to give Trud his space so he doesn't just default to that. Well, Reke is kind of alive, so I don't know how that would end up. Actually, who would that end up?
You don't know. Yeah, she's not currently holding it, but he does still seem to be following our orders.
Yep.
I assume you wouldn't put them directly adjacent. I assume you left a spot between them. So that
Oh yeah, he is not within her reach with that chain. That would
Yeah.
make it easy for her to break out.
I was gonna say she's not holding his chain, but he's still like looking to her and clearly like will follow any command she gives.
And the fact that she hasn't ordered him to crush Solomon's skull is already... I'm happy about this day in Solomon's head.
It's likely it's because she knows that if she did, there's like 10 other people upstairs who would hear it.
Yeah, especially when Trud's hands get washed in acid.
Yeah, and you've already proven that the group can beat up Trud, or at least knock her down.
Yep.
Yeah, she doesn't know the blood were temporary.
Thank God. He finishes that, puts the shit bucket aside for Mama to pick up whenever the hell he feels like.
The person that killed your friends and kidnapped you just starts picking up your dog's poop and says, "Mama wants ingredients."
Yeah. Well, Solomon did say Mama is a weird ass fucking rat who uses that shit for potions. So Reke knows that now. Yeah, so she basically just has to imagine. Did she see Mange?
She got unconscious.
Yeah, so Yeah.
Or maybe when you were trying to pull me away.
Yeah, probably there, actually. Or during. Yep.
Just during, he's just off in the corner talking with.
And doesn't give a shit what happens over there.
You head up that one,
Yeah, that's basically how Salman does things.
This has not become any regular prison. This has become horny jail.
Only because of you. Because of you.
Yeah,
2 out of
thankfully,
4.
Alex,
I'll take 2 out of 4.
thankfully Alex didn't try to seduce Trud because that could have gone absolutely horribly for her. Trud is very large.
Oh.
It's like 2
Luckily-
foot now.
Luckily, I don't think he's able to be seduced.
It's literally the easiest thing in the world to do for him. Just hold the fucking chain. See what happens. Nope. But
He has one more intelligent than Carlos started with.
and Carlos started with 2.
Yeah.
Yep, Carlos
Are you-
is smart boy.
So Solomon could actually decently likely one-shot Trud. If he reduces him, goes into a coma.
And the will damage from the sword is temporary, right?
Yeah, if a coma
Yeah. Death is permanent.
to 1, then you'd just be in a coma for like a few days till he woke up. But if you went down to 0, he is permanently in a coma.
No, as it's written, he dies screaming.
Oh yeah. If their will is reduced to 0, they die scream. They die of a little scream.
Yeah, well, he would just die screaming, as the description says. I like that. It with a shriek is fun description.
Lord, the one thing that you and your old profession and my hopefully new profession have in common is we both have to deal with way too many Karens.
I live in Denmark, it's not that many. Well, that's what Solomon does. Oh, that's even worse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Solomon keeps talking with Rekka every time he's down there.
Got a couple of things that will happen there, but yeah, is there anything else that anybody else would do? Kind of stagger stuff.
Rowan would probably pull Skitry aside as doesn't have to be an RP thing, but just like as a snake, just like, so how are we going to make a room for us? How's this going to work?
It's that you're only like, it's like you can fit on a normal bed. You just have to either coil or like let some of it dangle off the edge.
Okay.
Yes. Either you have to kind of cuddle up a bit and kind of pull your tail in, or just let it dangle off the edge. So you're only like 10 foot long. Like you're not absolutely huge. And it's the tail bit we can coil up quite a lot. Kind of wrap the end around in a little coil. Fits in.
10 foot long? There are several ways you could interpret that.
From his tail.
Yeah, he gained more.
He just outed that to the entire freaking Twitch chat.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Now that we have showers, Solomon, never let Alexandria
Yeah,
see
showers.
you. Ever. Ever. Never let her
Have
see
showers?
you.
Actually, there would be like a bathroom upstairs, but it's not a
Yep.
shower. It's like a tub, like a couple of large tubs.
Except you still think he's fucking celibate and has taken a freaking vow against him. That's the
Why?
funny
She
thing.
doesn't know about it yet. Make sure that stays that way.
Doesn't that
Yeah.
deny Nurgle a whole class of diseases?
Yeah.
Let's get away from the train wreck.
Yeah, it's like
Nah, we're all good. Just
yeah, he's asking her about the bed.
she's like,
She's like, "Yeah, you can just hold up."
I
Yeah, she would remind you that like it's gonna be an experimental thing, Rocky. No guarantee I'll get it right the first time. Might take me a few goes.
Sounds hilarious. That's typical for him.
Yeah. Yeah, she like explains like a couple of times as you come in, but after a while she stops and she realizes you're not paying attention.
Run begins drowning him out by playing his hurdy-gurdy.
He walks in the room loud, playing the hurdy-gurdy as loud as he can to try and drown Mange out, but Mange just taps his collar and it doesn't work.
Through the right connections in Discord. How can you forget that? The dude who hasn't even used voice mod more than 5 times is buying a pass to it.
How long does he go? Question: how long
Okay,
does
we
Bane
get
go
it.
on about this?
All run in fear as our so otherworldly entity takes over this new base.
Run.
Oh,
Bro,
someone would just take the voice as main goddamn color again for nonsensical reasons.
Run after like a minute or two, just like my axe is best axe. It's just like fuck this. Guess bastard.
There's
just like-
15-foot radius as well. It's like the entire room.
See there. Now no one can hear each other.
God damn it.
He's more pumped because he feels some sort of magic tried to stop him, but just said fuck it.
Cast it again.
I think that look will save just means it won't be like centered on you, it'll just be like on the ground. Because you
Yeah,
can
it
also
won't
target
stick
it.
to you.
Yeah. I think it just stops it from following you around so you can walk out of it. Just resisting it completely is a bit strong for a second level spell. That you can just walk
Lasts
out
for
of.
20 minutes, so
20-minute ball of silence. The Skitcher gets back to work. It's just eerie. She's just hammering something in complete silence. Yeah, she keeps nodding along like she can hear you as she gets back to work on making like the doors for the prison.
When Skittree looks over at Rowan, Rowan gives her the thumbs up while he has like a tome in hand.
Only to tell.
You shouldn't be using your magic so much. You might explode. Yeah, but then you get moments like this.
Meanwhile, Solomon could make this a whole lot more entertaining with a stink cloud, but he has no reason to use it.
So,
Siegfried is just chilling in his new bar, hanging out, talking to anyone that comes by.
nobody really knows the place, so it's just the warband who pop by. You haven't gone out recruiting.
Well,
Alright,
that's
actually,
why
maybe he'll-
Alexandria goes out and advertises.
Can do that for you.
I meant anyone within the warband who feels like stopping in, but I guess no one wants to just hang out in the big room.
Oh yeah, did we ever actually clean the corpses away or something? Because that might be something Solomon would do. Oh, because if he cleans them out, he can make it way worse for people nearby.
Yeah, that would be good for the. Yeah.
Hence why the Nurgle priest is going to drag those corpses away and make a nice corpse pile to fester. And thanks to his freaking high strength, he can actually move the corpses of ogres with relative ease.
It's still an effort.
Yeah,
With all the equipment taken off, you manage to like kind of set your feet and start dragging them around. Like takes a while to move the ogres, but you can like set on your foot, get a good grip, and drag them around by your foot.
Yep.
They're like 3 times your size,
Yep.
but you got it. I enjoyed that.
Siegfried might come help.
Yeah, like even if you guys would have done it, Skitchy would have long ago taken off like any metal that they had just to melt down. Because scrap metal is always useful for a blacksmith.
And once Solomon has had some help making his nice little corpse pile in a good central location somewhere that people will travel by,
There we go.
he's gonna make some fun with the corpses to make sure they get nice and rotting.
I have a warp stone parapet of spell storing. I want to get my 2nd level spell slot back.
You are so lucky to right there.
Bro, I've ridden it all the way up to 10 before. It's happened.
So the odds of getting to 6 are quite low.
Yeah. Solomon's going to tend to his two favorite.
Sorry, what were you saying?
Solomon's going to tend to his new corpse pile to make sure it rots just perfectly, and his new 2 favorite prisoners.
Kind of tend to your corpse pile, like a weird hitman player.
Yeah, but he's also going to make sure that he blesses it so that the grandfather Nurgle can be real proud of it.
You bless them in the rot starts to spread across, helping that along.
Yep, and if things starts to live in the corpses and stuff, he helps those along too.
Yeah, definitely maggots and flies and all that very quickly.
Yep.
Well, fast forward a couple of days, like one time when you're going down to deliver the prisoners their food. And as you're kind of giving Regia food, she like kind of looks to you and is like, "Who is the leader?" Who's leader?
We have honestly not officially chosen one. We just let this loudmouth Skaven do things because he kind of has some ideas.
Like the Skaven? All the perception. I'll say we
Chops
just
down the door, shiny
basement.
style.
Yeah, because the basement is decently far down.
It's just slam here.
It's just good perception.
Is that what's? Is that what? Yeah,
Yeah.
that is.
So Mange just like happen to be behind the bar, and you hear like leader come up. You hear like this dimly down the corridor of the basement. Get this question of who is. Yeah, you go up and you throw up the trapdoor and jump in and start walking down.
Meanwhile, Solomon gets to the part where he explains that it's the loudest Skaven who is acting leader because well, no one's bothering to take charge anyway. And it, basically, that dude. The person who just asked who the leader was.
Why?
He took charge. She asked him why.
Why he's the leader? Oh, it's one of those bands, is it?
And we kind of just go day to day, which is kind of why the resource thing happened.
No, it isn't.
Alex also passing by at the same time.
God damn it, are you going for that same prisoner again?
I'll wait for you guys to finish.
Thank you. Make sure his hips don't break.
I mean, he's definitely the loudest.
Yep. It is. Oh, God.
Yeah, so means just start talking, kind of going on a triad of all the great things about Mange, most of which don't make any sense.
Probably also a
He just
good
starts
bunch of
talking,
lies in
keeps
there.
talking until somebody shuts him up.
Yes. And someone just eyes the prisoner like, this is what we deal with. He's not even angry or anything. He's kind of amused at Mage and Skid Scratch.
Alex
Lived in a
just kind of.
sewer.
Alex just kind of. Mage is fully invested. Just kind of like leans up against the cage next to Riki, whatever her name is, and just goes, I know you don't like me, but at least I don't do that.
What you do is far worse.
Ah, that's fair.
Oh, that's fired.
I'm like, so are you one of those people who are big on chastity and stuff then? I'm guessing?
Just like looks to you and says, "That's not big on giving away all seconds meeting somebody."
Oh, that.
Like, not into giving away all power within 2 seconds of meeting someone.
Possibly.
I thought the elves was.
Kind of cut out there, Zach. What?
I thought the elves were smart.
That one's just a slut.
Oh, trust me, I've got my. Trust me, I do it for a reason. I could have done a lot more. That's just a little taste for him.
Again, don't break his fucking hips.
He scurries off back up the stairs. Uh, yeah, sure.
I kind of want to make a roll too, just for shits and
General
giggles.
war advantage. See what you know about Kislev.
Oh,
No.
Would Solomon have any
As far as
chance?
you know, she's an Orskin that talks funny because she looks like an Orskin. She's pale like an Orskin. Call me that again, and Tread will squish you.
I didn't even hear what happened. Trisky just completely cut out.
She just
Yeah. And she said, "Call me Orskin again, and Tread will squish you." So, what did you say? I heard why that bad thing. I thought you were like pointing to something.
pretty much.
The Norskins are beasts in the far north.
Everything's cutting out.
Shall we all restart? I think it's being a bitch to all of us. Shall we just restart Discord really quick, all of us?
I'm all right. You guys can.
I don't like them.
Ah.
Yes,
Uh,
for now. Well, personally, they seemed pretty civil to me. I don't know if we just ran into a decent batch of them, but they seem to be a pretty decent bunch.
You do know where the hell we are, right?
I told you. It's like, you know, what, 10 Norskins?
I suppose I only know 8, but
Are they all in Norskins? Huh. Yep.
Isha and Garrick, I think. Yeah. Yeah. The rest are from various places. From Albion, which is a weird ass place that none of you have actually heard of.
Solomon can't
no way to know about Albion.
Solomon knows an amazing amount of things, and yet so little because he's fucking from the sewers of Mordheim. It's
90s.
hilarious.
90s kids get those little Viewmasters to change a picture. Skaven just get to like stick their heads up in different spots around the world.
Pretty much.
They learn karate from watching it on the TV, like the just had.
Yeah, possibly.
like I said, asshole.
Well,
Again.
you would know. Suppose you would know a lot about assholes, wouldn't you?
Oh,
You're right about that, Missy. Basically, Alexandria doesn't take this as an insult. She takes this as a compliment, given her background.
Yeah.
Joke's on you, I'm into that.
we are weird. Yep. That's basically our leader, though that's pretty much because he's just the only one who speaks up about it all the time. We kind of vote about things.
You are a strange man.
Well, we are varied as hell.
Have a self-proclaimed leader who has no leadership skills, and then you vote on things. It's point of leader then.
This game now lives off the logic of a 40k orc.
Make it till you make it. What is your charisma score again? Your charisma is double mine. Oh yeah.
Beat Rowan.
Everyone beats Solomon. He's not a freaking charismatic dude. It's hilarious.
I just want you to know. I just want you to know that I have the biggest shit-eating grin on my face right now.
Oh,
Why?
why?
You eat shit?
Oh,
Because she said, "Do you know about assholes?"
Yeah, I don't go there.
oh boy.
Well, considering I used to be an escort, I mean, not a lot of people were into that, so I didn't get into that. All right. Originally, this Slanesh thing was a side job to help me out.
And look what that brought you. Meanwhile,
Exactly.
Solomon grew up in sewers, surrounded by all this weird shit, and he just naturally fell
Really?
into being a cultist.
No.
He literally grew up surrounded by weird shit. He was in the sewers of Mordheim.
Yep.
Weird shit.
So I just tell her, no, I probably don't, but Solomon probably does.
Miracle cultist.
No comment.
He is. He is so delightfully blunt because his charisma score is so low.
Yeah.
The options being leaving, dying, or joining.
on.
Yeah, pretty much.
And imagine leaving is on the table.
Well, if you promise not to chase us and we can trust you, leaving is an option. Well,
Nate, shut the
apparently
fuck up! I'm trying to read!
that would be our mage.
Yeah, because I'm making spells to protect your ass! Unless you want me to bring you back from the dead! As a zombie! You don't like my zombies!
Oh, just begins to chuckle at that. Just
They're just gonna...
Yeah,
I mean,
or you get
my
the
picture's
actual
still
moving from the force.
my picture's still just an all face. So every time Mange talks, I just inadvertently my eyes turn to my picture, then I turned to slide. I was like, oh wait, yeah.
By the way, I unplugged my headphones for a moment to let because one of my priests was watching in, and after I did, you immediately screamed and startled him. He's gone now.
Tell him I'm sorry. No comment.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Tell him I'm sorry afterwards.
Yeah, someone just laughed at that conversation being heard downstairs. Just like, there it is again.
Well, if just leaving is not an option, then I suppose I'll have to get some order into this group.
You're welcome to try. We could definitely use it. Someone has no issue admitting to that.
Yeah, this place kind of is a shit show.
It's our shit show, but we need to get it in order.
Ooh, we've recruited the Dami Mommy.
And the ogre.
I think this is where I take my 5-minute leave. You guys have fun.
Yeah, in like 15 minutes, I'm gonna have to go. There's dinner's getting ready, and considering we're in a household now we are now in a household with an Italian priest and a lot of other people. This is gonna be a really good dinner.
Ooh.
Yum.
Yeah, that's 15 points to finish up. Basically, Becky will join. She would prefer a room to herself, but Trud, he can just sit in the stables or something. He does not care anything about comfort. Just sit on the floor.
And has Oswald thoroughly thought about my offer?
Which one of them you gave him few?
Yeah. Especially since, like, you guys, like, basically accepted his surrender immediately at the start. And then, well, Alex doing the talking and other things.
And other things.
And many other things. And and the other prisoner also got a part of it too.
Which is why Solomon keeps saying, "Don't break his hips."
Wait, have I been fucking muted on the stream?
Oh.
For, oh my god! Everyone missed all of my shit, didn't they? Oh, that's beautiful.
They've only heard us.
All of your ears have been spared. Let's just put it that way. All right, I'm just going to do my sign off now. Oh, fuck. Apparently it never unmuted myself, so yeah, that'll be about it for the session. This was going to be a really brief roleplay focused one. Basically, I have no fucking idea where it cut off, so I can't even tell you what you missed.
for watching. Now you gotta do that thing with the thumbs up and the subscribe. Oh, ring that bell. Super hard. Share this with your friends too, and watch some other videos as well. Bye bye.